Now, if you're here, I am trusting that you want spirituality. I have to assume that. Okay. So we're all looking for spirituality. So see if you can compute this. I think you can. When the emotions embrace spirituality, it is termed religion. Here's where the emotions come from, the heart chakra. Here's John Doe, Sally Smith. I'm in deep, deep trouble. I need to go for a spiritual trip. I'm going to search for spirituality. When their emotions go out on the hunt to find a path, a master, a religion, they end up in religion. The emotional search for spirit is religion, okay? When the mind embraces spirituality, it is termed philosophy, metaphysics, or the occult. You get a little higher order individual that isn't quite so emotional. Logic and reason are starting to develop at the throat chakra. This is where reason first shows itself. This is why people at the throat chakra, when they look down at people in religion, they just shake their head and they say, how can they even believe what they believe? So when a seeker is at the throat or tries to find spirit through their intellect, it's termed philosophy, metaphysics, and the occult. When the soul or the consciousness of soul embraces the pursuit of spirituality, it is termed the quest for self-realization. Now, you new seekers that are here, this path is all about self and God realization. It's not about escaping hell. It's not about being escorted into heaven. It's about self and God realization. It's about finding out who you are. Now, this goes very, very, very deep. And I'm talking to the new seekers now. And, of course, the new Chelas. We believe we're the body. We believe we're the emotions. We believe we're the mind. No one knows they're none of those things. All we really are is consciousness. And this is what we need to discover. Our true self is the divine consciousness, and that's what this path entails. See, religions and some paths come in and they tell one that if you don't find God, you're going straight to hell. What this insinuates is that God doesn't know a thing about you. And I'm calling uncle on that. God's will circumscribes the entire creation. There is no way, much like every atom in our body is controlled by ourselves. There's no atom in our body that can act separate from our will. We have complete control of it. It's the same way for what we call the Supreme Being, way, way up here. Everything is its universal body, and it knows everything that is going on, from the splitting of a hair to the chirp of a cricket, is how it's metaphorically described. God knows us. There's no way God's going to send us to hell. He knows all about us. He created us. So it's a myth if the religions imply that, hey, you better find God, because he doesn't know a thing about you. And if you don't accept God, he's throwing you out. You're dead meat. You're going to hell. Well, you see, that's a total lie. That's an illusion. God knows all about us. We're not down here to find God as much as we are to find out who we are as the divine soul. That's why we are down here, and this is self-realization. And this is what a light and sound doctrine for you new seekers stresses and emphasizes. We're not worried about the physical body and all its problems. We're not worried about our emotions, our causal tendencies, our mind. We want to find the soul, our divine being, the immortal part of ourselves, and that's what self-realization entails. Okay, so the MasterPath is about self-realization. If you want self-realization, I do not recommend that you go through occults, philosophies, metaphysics, or religion. I do not recommend it. You're just going to get detoured and sidetracked. Okay. If self-realization doesn't appeal to you, finding out who you are, and might I just add, if you got to see what you really were, let's just say for 1 second, how can I say it? It'd blow your mind. You'd probably be incinerated. Just the vibrations would be so high. A hole in the floor and your shoes smoking the floor down. If you got to see, now this is not a sales pitch. Truth doesn't need a sales pitch. It's about you. You're running around here on this plane living and you got a heartbeat, you can think and feel. Hey, that's some pretty impressive stuff. And I want you to know that you're even more impressive than what your ego tells you you are. You're even more. You're a divine being, a divine consciousness. You're totally free. You live forever. You're karmaless. You're spotless. You're a king or a queen. We are down here to find out our divinity as soul. This is what the Lord really wants. And that's why the whole journey of soul, is how it's described, is the whole process of getting through all the illusions and Maya that just has cluttered our mind and emotions and prevented us from seeing what we truly are in reality, okay, which is the divine soul. Okay? Very, very important.